How different is the spring for you? So obviously you guys have, really it's more about the on-field talent that's different than anything else. When you go into practice tomorrow, how confident are you going to be with the guys that are going to be around Devon and Devon himself? Kind of the team versus
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach kind of hit on it. We have the cupboard is stocked, so to speak, at all positions, really. We're not at a disadvantage just from a standpoint of having 9 healthy offensive linemen as we start spring, So I think that's probably the biggest thing going into this year. And that's so much different. And as Coach said too, having Damon as a guy that's played a bunch for us, the clear-cut starter going into our second year, the comfortability with him, along with some of the other guys, that made a lot of plays for us last year. I think that's the biggest thing. When you have some of that evidence, that hard evidence, you've seen guys make plays and do it on game days, that's a huge deal. Now it's about getting everybody better. The guys that we do know and that have been on our team, get those guys better. And then we're excited about some of the guys that we haven't seen as much. Omari Evans and some of the guys, Kai Horton, some of the guys that we've been able to bring in. The freshmen, obviously, that are showing up now. Very talented group that we're very excited about. Now we get to roll the balls out and see them play. So really excited about it.
Would offensive guard almost be the biggest question mark because you have to replace both of them? Because Landon went to center.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way we look at that is, we got to gel that offensive line the best way we can. How that's all going to shake out, we got to get the best 5 guys out there, and then we got to develop depth behind that. Anymore, you need 7, 8 linemen that you feel really comfortable with playing, and that to me is like we're in such a better spot than we were a year ago, just from a numbers standpoint, and having guys that are healthy, able to go out there and compete. The guys like Landon that know the system, they've been a part of what we've been doing, they know it, they're really comfortable with it. Like him, like you said, like bringing him now to center, a guy that's been in the system for a year, that's a huge deal. I mean, the center is a huge piece of it because he's really, outside the quarterback, he's going to touch it on every play, right? He's getting all the calls and getting everybody set as far as where we're going with our targets and whatnot. So that's huge. And then from there, it's what are these other guys bringing to the table? The Carver Willises of the world, the Garrett Hatches, having him back now. And some of the freshmen, see what those, again, just like across the board, any position. Really excited about seeing the freshmen and what they bring to the table. The John Mills, the Champs, the Flores, all these guys that we brought in, talented group. Let's see what it looks like.
Are any of those guys designated as guards only, the freshmen?
I don't know if I'd say designated yet. We got to see what it looks like. We got to get out there and see what it looks like on the field for one day. I believe John's going to start at guard for us, and Champ's going to start at guard. I think Jake is going to kind of be an interior guy for the most part early on. So, we'll see where that goes. Those guys might end up getting kicked out to tackle, depending on what it looks like and what they can handle on the field. But again, our job is to get the 5 best guys out there, gel it, make sure it's one unit together, and those guys can go out there and play really good football for us.
If you didn't know John was from California, just looking at him, big country, would you think he was from California?
No, I'd say Montana probably be my guess, yeah. Or maybe North Dakota or something like that, yeah. He's classic. He's awesome.
Your added responsibility, not only the offensive coordinator, but you only have one returning quarterback in the room. And how hard is that to have that many new bodies specifically in the quarterback room?
Yeah, it's a challenge. We have had, the past several weeks of being able to be with him in the classroom, and be with these guys to really get them caught up to speed. Not Kai, obviously. We're going to see what that looks like. He's really smart and has been studying on his own and has done a great job of that. But like you said, you got 2 freshmen, you got a transfer coming in. Shea was here, obviously, but we got to see what those guys can do. See what they're able to do. They're doing a great job with everything that we've asked of them so far, whether that be in the off-season conditioning program, whatever it might be. In the classroom, they seem very capable, but now can they transfer out to the field? And that's a big thing for us, is finding out who that backup quarterback is going to be for us.
Do you have an assistant quarterback coach that helps you with that?
Yeah, JP Losman is here with us now. Jacob Smith is helping out as well, but JP is doing a great job for us. He's come in and obviously first-round draft pick in the NFL years ago with the Bills, and brought a lot of energy and enthusiasm and knowledge to the game. So really, really fortunate to have him and Jacob are doing a great job for us.
You guys had mobile quarterbacks at Arizona. You didn't necessarily run a ton. Curious where the balance is with someone like Damon, who what kind of speed he has, what he can do with the ball in his hands, but I imagine you want to limit the number of hits that he's going to take over a season too.
Yeah, I mean, you're never excited about your quarterback getting hit, you know. So that's something that we're always conscious of, I would say. But he is such a weapon. You know, Damon's really different than anybody we've had because of how fast he is. And, you know, I think it's been said before, but he's fast. He's like a receiver fast. It's always great to have quarterbacks that can get out of trouble, use their feet, they're athletic in the pocket, keeping their eyes downfield, making plays with scrambles and things like that. Damon, no doubt, brings another element to it, but we'll always be conscious of making sure he's being smart with how many hits he's taking. We have to be very, very conscious and smart about that.
With Denzel potentially missing some time this spring, who are some of the other receivers that you're looking at stepping up this year?
Yeah, I mean, I know Coach hit on Rashid. He's had a great offseason. Kevin Green, great offseason. Some of the other guys that, you know, really the whole group's done a good job. I'm really excited to see the freshmen, see what Raiden looks like, see what Chris Lawson looks like, some of those guys out there. Amari Evans, bringing him in as a transfer, really excited to see what that looks like. Denzel, we know, again, we have evidence to what he's done, and I think there's a lot out there more for him. We're disappointed he's not going to be out there for the whole spring, but he's doing everything he can right now to continue his process and how he's moving along, but we'll be really excited to get him back. You know, again, kind of like the offensive line, you know, we're always going to be an 11 team, you know, and have 3 receivers on the field majority of the time, and we got to find the best playmakers for us to go out there and be explosive. That was kind of the one thing we looked at, and we were, you know, kind of go back and look at last year. We need to be more explosive. You know, we went on too many 12, 13, 14 play drives. You know, how can we be more explosive with guys that can get in that end zone right there in 1-2 plays, you know? So a lot of competition in that room, I would say, and really just excited to see now. They had a tremendous offseason in the weight room and doing all the sprint stuff on the side, and now I'm excited to see it now come to fruition on the field.
Jed was talking about Jonah's body transformation and how this is his year. Jonah knows that. Obviously, it's his senior year, but he's put up big numbers in the past. Are you expecting anything different from him?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think Jonah's, you know, another guy that's put the work in. Yeah, it could be a broken record as far as like the guys that had these amazing off seasons. I know the picture went viral of Jonah and what his body looks like right now, and that's not photoshopped. You know, he put the work in to get to where he is right now. And it's not that he wasn't working hard before, and he's always been talented, but I'm so excited to see what he does. I think he's the best running back in the country, and that's how we feel. And we feel like we have one of the best running back rooms in the country with Adam and Jordan and all the guys behind him that are coming up in the ranks behind him. But the sky's the limit for Jonah. I mean, how far and high, and how many yards and all that, touchdowns, all that, I think it's an extremely high bar for him. And that's how he wants it. He's going to go after it and attack it. But yeah, really excited to see what he can do. But we got to keep having those other guys too. You're not going to just have one running back play the whole year. We got to keep developing the other guys. You know, Adam Muhammad, as we talked about many times, very talented kid, and Jordan brings a different element with his speed. So just got to keep developing that room, just like all the rooms.
Other than Kevin Green, who do you see competing for time in the slot for you guys this year?
I think KG, I think Audric Harris is another guy that had a great offseason. Really excited to see what he can do in the slot. Amari, you know, he might have some position flexibility, whether he's going to end up as an outside guy or in the slot remains to be seen. And then, you know, formationally, we can do some different things with Denzel in the slot at times. You know, we're not just tied into, oh, this guy's just a slot. You know, we can move guys around as we see fit with what they do best. But no doubt, we got to make sure that we know who that guy's going to be. And spring ball's for that. You know, spring ball is really that time where you're not focused on an opponent, so to speak. You're focused on yourself. And we got to go out there and play really clean football, keep developing our guys, making sure that we're playing good fundamentals, sound football out there, and then let the competition develop, you know, in all those rooms, you know, and who's going to rise to the challenge, who's going to keep getting their game better and making sure that we can have the best guys when we put out the best 11 come the fall.
Your tight end room, are you comfortable with the health and the depth that you have there?
Feel really good about the tight end room, another room. I know the coach was talking about Q Moore. I mean, I think that guy is so talented as a pass catcher and as a blocker. He's so strong and physical at the point of attack. He really brings a different element. And then Decker DeGraff is a young guy. I think he at times and at spurts last year made some really splash plays for us down the field. I think that guy's got a chance to be one of the most athletic tight ends in the country, you know, when it's all said and done, and do some really big things in the passing game. And he's a willing blocker as well. So you got those two pieces right there we feel really good about. And then it's going to be about, again, developing all those other guys, the young guys, the transfers that just came in, and make sure we get those guys up to speed.
Jimmy, for you, what would be a successful sprint? Like, what goes into a successful sprint?
I think I just hit on it. You know, I think it's about, you know, and I know you guys asked Coach, but, you know, what do we want day one of spring ball? Clean football. Like, it's a boring answer, but it really is true. We want good, clean, fundamental football. Line up correctly, line up in the right splits. Everybody make sure that we know the snap count, go out there and give ourselves the best chance to go out and be successful. We have talented guys. Now it's how can they master all the things that we're asking them to do? How good can they get at the things that we're asking them to do? But it really comes down to all those simple things, you know, the CQ exchange, start at the most basic element of the game. You know, that's really what spring ball is for. And then obviously as we go in spring ball, we'll build it out and make sure that we're doing some things schematically that we know we can that are going to help us in the fall. But it always has to go back to, in my mind, it's the competition within the position groups. That's always a big thing in the spring, and just making sure you're getting as good as you can at the fundamentals that we want to teach our guys, because that's got to be the core of anything that you do, and always where we're going to start from a focus point, and then it builds out there from schematically.
Last time you were here, Coach Sark brought you in, and you were pretty young, but he had enough faith and confidence in you. Do you still talk to Coach Sark, pick his brain at all? Still a mentor?
Yeah, every now and then we stay in touch through text, and you know we're all busy as coaches, you know, so it's mostly text. Every now and then a call here and there, but yeah, I still consider him a friend for sure.
When it comes to recruiting quarterbacks in this program, to this offense, what is it about Jed's offense, your system, that appeals to a guy like Kai Orton? When it comes to quarterbacks, usually you want to go find that destination to where I can play.
Yeah.
Kai obviously knows you got Devon here. There's no way he's going to be the unquestioned starter. I guess, what is it about the system that attracts quarterbacks and almost makes it a destination?
Yeah, I mean, we're always going to be, you know, somewhat try to be as balanced as we can with running and throwing the ball, but our track record kind of speaks for itself as far as, you know, we're going to want to throw the ball, and we're going to want to be explosive throwing the football. And I think guys see that. I think they understand as we get to talk to them that, you know, you're coming in and you're running an NFL system. So most of these guys have aspirations, and they should. We want guys that have that aspiration to go play at the next level. But what better way than to come in here and you're running the exact terminology or very close to the terminology that over half the NFL is running, verbatim. So that's a very attractive thing for kids to look at. Okay, I'm training obviously now to be the best quarterback I can be, but I'm also investing in my future for what my ultimate goals are, is to play in the NFL. So I think when you mix all that up and just how we've been able to communicate and talk to the quarterbacks, and then, you know, it's relationship driven. You know, it's Coach Fish and myself and all the coaches that are part of the staff, building those relationships with guys, and it's something that, you know, guys want to be a part of.
All right, great, thanks, Coach Dougherty.
All right, thank you.